Hey there everybody, it's the guy that has no social life and a camera and some free time on his hands, here to make a video showing off kind of a strange collection. One of the more frowned upon portions of the Transformers collectors are the Legends class collectors. There's the Masterpiece collectors, then there's the regular Hasbro Takara collectors with the Deluxe class, Voyager, Leader class, Supreme class, whatever other class they decide to have you fork your money over for. And then in that hierarchy, there's the lower tier. No, not the people that collect G1, or the people that collect Prime, or the people that collect another subset. That's a whole nother topic that I'll get into later on if this whole thing works out and I don't get a life by the time this video comes out. But there is the Legends class, which has had many different incarnations, like the RID Spy Changers, the Transformers Dark of the Moon Cyberverse ones, and the regular Legion Legend classes. Some of them, like RID Legion class Fix-It and Revenge of the Fallen Wheelie, do fit into the actual Transformers scale. And then there's others, like these ones that I'm about to show you, which are some of my personal favorite figures in my collection, even though I'm more of a regular scaled collector, that have a special place on my shelf. So, in no particular order, I'm just going to show you a few random ones. Not going to separate them by continuity because on my toy shelf, the continuity is in my head. The first thing I wanted to showcase is the Arc, which came out in Dark of the Moon. It came with Legend Class Roller, which I like to use as a mini-con because in G1, Roller was that little bot in Optimus Prime's trailer, so I like to believe that's the same character. No, I do not buy the Roller is Tarn theory that IDW fans have, but still that's pretty cool because Tarn's another one of my favorite characters if I ever talk about him. But this is the Arc. Has missiles. It has two guns in the back that I took off and I use as weapons on certain characters. To open it up, you do this. Many portions will fold down, like this will fold down. Pieces here will come up. These bits will open up. The convoluted plot of the Space Bridge keys show up here. It's a very nice honeycombed almost design in here. One of the weirder functions is this. There's the laser blast, but then there's this, which is like a trap door function. Or you can have it be just the red carpet. That does not work half the time. And then over here, if you want Ratchet, you have the med bay. There's a prison, which cannot close up if you have a guy in there because the gun will get in the way. But honestly, I think this is really cool. And I've seen a lot of stop motions use this as a primordial Autobot transportation mechanism. And I myself like to do that too. If I were to ever make a stop motion, I'm not good at stop motions. I've made some before. Hopefully none of you ever see them, because you'd lose all of the respect that you didn't have for me already. But if I were to ever make a stop motion, it'd be kind of a comedy, and this would be like the Uber of the Transformers franchise. So, I'm just going to toss this to the side, and we'll get into the actual figures right now. Randomly going into the pile, we have the face of the Transformers franchise. This is 2007 movie Optimus Prime. Not that very good of a figure. I remember getting possibly this one on Christmas once when I was little. Figure's 10 years old, so he has a very strange transformation where he has this almost runway model proportions of being 75% legs, and then if he were a true role model, he'd just be skin and bones right up here, but you know, he's a robot, not a bulimic. The next figure we have on here is from a line that basically debuted alongside with the 07 movie, the animated line. It's one of my favorite figures from the Legion class of the animated line, and it's Bumblebee. One of my favorite incarnations of the character, definitely. It seems like they combined the G1 Bumblebee with a little bit of the movieverse, and then you tossed in Hotshot, who's cool, a little annoying at times, but he's just the replacement Bumblebee because you lost the rights to the character. This figure looks awesome in my opinion. I mean, yeah, of course it's Kibbley, but that's what you can expect from a Legion class figure, right? You even kind of get the stinger zappers that he kind of has right here. So that's a great figure. Vehicle mode's awesome. I'm going to slide him into the back as I show off a few more figures. To go along with the Optimus I just previously showed, we have this Night Watch Optimus, which is the same exact figure. I'm missing this piece right here. So that's good. What's the point of a Transformer without a crotch piece? Another random figure that I have in here is Cybertron Soundwave. He's missing his legs, but I have another one that will show up later in the video. He's an alright figure. Another one that I really like for some reason, and a lot of people consider this a really crappy figure, is the Legion movie Megatron. And it is, by all means, a crappy figure, but there's something about it that I like. I don't know why. So he's going to also be tucked in the back there with Bumblebee. Just in case a catchy thumbnail, because I don't know how to make custom thumbnails yet, because I am a YouTube noob. Right there is an example of it. I coughed and I didn't edit it out. Shows how much I care. Maybe YouTube should pay me. Another movie figure, 07 Ratchet, which is just a green hunk of plastic that I have very fond memories of in my childhood for some reason. There's this Beast Wars Megatron figure, or Alligator Tron. He's in pieces because I bought him at a flea market, so no hope of finding pieces to him, and I'm not going to pay money for a new one. He's actually pretty cool. He has this weird gimmick where you pull the latch, so he's an early one-step changer. I like his head scan. Dorito Screams. I have his arm downstairs. I just was too lazy to bring it up before I made this video. This is a very off-the-cuff video, very crappy video. One of the worst Legion class figures by any means. This Bumblebee. These pieces sticking out are so weird. It's such a wonky transformation. Let me get down to it right now. This is some Octobotimus quality transformation instructions. You take these appendages and you finagle them out. You spread them. Not good advice. You pull it down. Alright, he's starting to look like Bumblebee. Take the fists and you do that. Strange, but alright, I'm with you. Turn it around. Oh god, what is that? That's not bad looking. The fists are really strange. The doors look alright when you do it from that angle. When you do it from this angle, they look like crap. The face scan is absolutely horrendous. It looks like Ratchet. It literally looks like Ratchet. Looks like a very bad cosplay of Bumblebee. The crotch piece is very misformed. It makes the legs look very scrawny. These are oversized pirate boots. I don't know what they were going for there. A better one would be this one from... this is an Age of Extinction redeco of a Dark of the Moon Cyberverse one. This one came with Strafe and Stinger. He's a pretty nice one. I like him. Here's that same crappy 07 Bumblebee. But it's a non-battle damaged version. And maybe an even worse figure. Are you ready for this? This thing. I'm going to refer to it as this thing because it does not deserve to be called Jazz. This is not Jazz. This is not the Pontiac Solstice / Martini Porsche from G1, the movies, animated, whatever continuity you prefer. But this thick-legged, weird ab-having, I mean, maybe this is supposed to replicate when he's getting snapped into by Megatron. That's the only thing this figure has of a purpose in my mind, because that's what I want to do to this figure. It is just really bad. I remember my friend really wanted it, and I was going to give it to him because yeah, I can get this figure off my hands, but A, I somehow have attachment to this figure, I don't know how, and B, he saw it, took one look, jumped out of the window, and is now, still on the floor outside my house. I invited him to come back in. He said, no, I'd rather freeze outside in the snow than look at this figure anymore. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at some other figures, some better ones. Let's do that. This randomly picked figure is the blue and white repaint of Legion Class Barricade. This one's really cool looking in my opinion. Barricade's one of my favorite movie Decepticons. For all of you that did not know, I'm assuming most of you don't because you're not a psychic, and this is the first video I'm recording on this channel. It may not be the first uploaded. Mustang mode looks very good. I'll show vehicle mode when I get to the black one. You'll see that later. You can go back there. RID Spy Changers Ironhide. A weird one. But still, I'm a sucker for these Spy Changer figures. This transformation's so simple that I kind of really enjoy them. Weird Ironhide, though, still. But you can kind of just toss him in there. He's a little out of scale, but I don't really care. And yeah, he's top-heavy, too. Let me clear him out. This is a weird one. Here is Cybertron Megatron. Cybertron's one of my favorite series. It was the one I was introduced to with the Transformers franchise, this and animated. And race car from the front. weird jet from this angle, and crappy toy from the bottom. I actually quite like this figure. I don't know how. You have these dangling all over the place. I didn't know what these served as a purpose when I was a child. I only figured out how to transform this guy a few years ago because I can only do simple math. When you unfold him like this, he looks like something out of Beast Wars. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this is. It looks like something out of Hellraiser. Pull down the bottom. Rotate the head. Regret all your decisions. Cancel the cut and let me cough. And 3 aspirants, a death wish, regretful inner monologue, and fun transformation later. We actually have what is a very solid looking robot mode. It looks a lot like his TV show counterpart. Good job, Hasbro. You didn't screw this one up. How do you have more paint apps than most of the 2015 RID toy line? I want to know this. One thing that I may make a video on later on is the RID 2015 toys. At first, I really didn't like them, but I'm actually starting to warm up to them. There's some pretty good figures in that line. Bumblebee. That's all that comes to my mind right now. I ordered Megatronus as an early Christmas gift. He hasn't come in the mail yet. But I'll get to the Christmas haul when I get it. Christmas is still 2 days away at the time of recording this video. So you all stay tuned for that one. I bet you thought the video was over. I'm very sorry to say no, it isn't. You'll still have a few more minutes to put up with me. But you can spend the time looking at this, which is a legitimately fantastic figure. Reveal the Shield Megatron. Hunt for the Decepticons Megatron, I can't remember. I mean, this robot mode's alright. You can clearly tell they're going for the G1 Megatron. Ignore that. Ignore the carrot tip on the gun. This mode's good, but his alt mode is fantastic. Let me get that set up for you right now. Very simple transformation, very fun transformation. He's one of the ones that I just fool around with in my free time when I should be doing something productive. Why couldn't you find the cure for cancer, Optimus Prime? Sorry, Mom. Too busy playing with a toy gun. That's awesome. If you had this little piece on the end right here stick out a little more, you could have a perfect G1 Megatron gun. It looks great, and it's almost to scale. Not a bad job if I do say so myself. This Dark of the Moon Optimus and Megatron figure, both are fantastic. 2 of my favorite Legion class figures. Optimus does have his little back brace in here that was given to him by Jetfire. I have the other gun somewhere, but I usually leave it off. Looks really nice. Megatron looks great. Great figures. I'd transform them, but I want to get this video under 15 minutes because most people can't put up with me. All pessimistic comments aside, we do have some more figures to get through, so I'm going to go through some rapid fire. Black Legion class Starscream. A repaint of that crappy Megatron. Cybertron Jetfire. Really good. I really like the Cybertron Legion figures. They did a good job with them. Gold Star. Another awesome Legion class figure. Animated Optimus. Love animated. Love Optimus. Bit of a weird one. Bumblebee. Just because he has these giant monkey hands, which I'll address in a minute. I don't know what this is, but I think I need to go wash my hands now that I touched it. RID Spy Changers Optimus. I can transform this because the Spy Changers require no effort and an IQ of under 75. So I just barely meet that requirement. Spy Changers Hotshot. Spy Changers Sideswipe, who's pretty cool. I thought he was Wheeljack for the longest time. I don't know why. The second Spy Changer Prowl I have, we'll see the first one later. And the Dark of the Moon Cybertron Bumblebee, which I showed the retooled version of a little earlier. Now, these next ones I'm going to show is going to take a little explaining. Now I'm going to show what I like to call the main Legion class figures. Not all of these are very good, but they're my main representations of the characters in form. I forget what line this is a part of. This could be Hunt for the Decepticons, but I know he's been re-released a few times. It is Starscream. The only problem this figure has is visible head syndrome. Besides that, I love this figure. One that I just recently got a few months back, Legion Megatron, based off the G2 Megatron. Also an excellent figure. A Spy Changers figure, or repro of the Optimus, Scourge, aka Nemesis Prime. Also great, one of my favorite characters. Another really good one. Wow, these guys are just crushing it out of the park today. We have Ladies Man 217 Hater himself, Barricade. We have this one that actually does look pretty cool and can debatably be used as the main version of him if you want him to scale with the other figures in the line, Scorponok. I prefer to use the deluxe class, even though if you wanted to use the Voyager, you should probably use either this one or the one that comes with the Voyager Blackout. I missed that figure. I'm hoping to pick up the Studio Series 1 that's coming out soon, but we'll see what happens there. Next up, we have what you can consider to be Stinger. He's more Knockout from Transformers Prime, but they retooled him as Stinger, so he's Stinger. Go in the back where no one can see you, because that's where you belong. Stinger's cool, he just doesn't really have much of a personality. Focusing camera issues aside, we have that Soundwave that I mentioned earlier. He's alright. And rounding out my Decepticon figures is Crankcase. Now, Crankcase, Hatchet, and Crowbar, aka the Dreads, and then if you want to count them, Berserker and Dreadbot, what a great name, I prefer Hooligan. But Michael Bay does what he wants to do, are some of the most underused and coolest Decepticons of the movie franchise. This figure is awesome. I did not get the deluxe version. I wish I did. I plan on getting him. I do have Berserker. I use my Legion class Hatchet, which will not be seen in this video because he's in my actual display. And they never made a Dreadbot figure, which is disappointing because Dreadbot may be my favorite of the Dreads because he's the most unique and he's a Volkswagen. I love Volkswagens. You guys will come to know that about me because along with Ferraris and Mustangs, they are my favorite cars. Let's show the auto, shall we? And now lastly, we have the Autobots. First one I'm going to show is very questionable to being in this display. You may question my reputation, what little reputation I have as a collector. But I have this Jazz in the display. Yes, I have 3 of them. Not my smartest moment. But to make up for that, I have a good figure right here. Dark of the Moon Topspin. A really good figure right here. Dark of the Moon Ironhide. Ironhide and Dark of the Moon do not go together. And here's the reason why Ironhide and Dark of the Moon do not go together. Sentinel Prime. Another good figure. Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Spy Changer Prowl, who does not really fit in the scale. This one's pretty cool. Sideswipe. Jetfire. I like this incarnation of Jetfire, but there's always been some things that strike me as weird about him. He strikes me as a grandpa, obviously. That's what he's modeled after. And he has some weird gimmicks. I mean, he farts out a parachute, and then he basically rips off an appendage and gives it to Optimus Prime. Imagine if that was your grandpa. You're sitting down at Christmas dinner. He stands up, farts out a parachute, rips off his arm, and throws it at your dad. That's basically Jetfire in Revenge of the Fallen, and I like this figure, surprisingly. Except for, you know, the big dangling black pipe between his legs. But jokes that can get me demonetized aside, we have another very good figure, Prime Ratchet. Another one that I like, Revenge of the Fallen Springer. I had one of these legs lost for, like, 6 years. I had the same problem with Jetfire over there. Another character that I quite like, X-Brawn, Spy Changers. Another really good character, Cybertron Leo Prime, Leo Breaker, Leo Convoy, Leo... any other Leo names they want to have. Another really cool one, Beast Hunters, Bumblebee. Really cool figure. Dark of the Moon Skids, who I actually don't hate as much as everyone else does, but still I can understand why people hate him. Spy Changers Mirage, who's pretty cool. Another really good figure, my favorite version of Hotshot, the Cybertron Hotshot, even though Armada Hotshot's pretty cool. I will not mention Energon Hotshot. Prime Tailgate, which is a really good figure, even though it's just a redeco of Cliff Jumper, and he has some weird feet. I still really like this figure. And last but not least, my main Optimus, Cybertron Optimus. So yeah, that's my figure collection. That's what I've wasted my parents' money on. That's what I wasted your time on watching this. You should go watch something better with your time. Go watch a good movie. I like movies. I like Transformers. If you like movies and Transformers and idiots talking about themselves in a self-deprecating way, then my channel's perfect for you. You should subscribe. But I don't want to force you to. Subscribe if you want to. Have a good day, and I recommend you to forget what you just saw. Goodbye.